Have you ever had that feeling, where you understand English perfectly well? You get the movies, the podcasts, maybe you even think in English sometimes, but then when you actually try to speak, it's like hitting a wall. Your mouth just doesn't seem to connect with your brain. It's super common and honestly really frustrating. So today we're doing a deep dive into a fantastic audio piece that looks right at this feeling. We want to figure out why it happens, and maybe more importantly, find some gentle ways to open that door, helping you feel a bit more confident, a bit more fluent when you speak.
It really is amazing how many people share this exact experience. And what's great about the source material we're looking at is how clearly it explains the roots of this hesitation. It goes beyond just, oh, I don't know enough words.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that feeling then. The source kicks off with this story about a friend, Lucia. And it paints this picture of someone really kind, thoughtful, just bursting with energy. Apparently, in Spanish, her first language, she's just nonstop talking fast, lively, big gestures, loads of expression, especially telling stories about work or her cat, that kind of thing. But here's where it gets really interesting. The instant she switched to English, it was like a light switch flipped. Suddenly, she's fumbling, looking down, pausing a lot, repeating words. Her whole energy just deflates. Her voice gets soft. Her hands stop moving. And she starts saying things like, uh-huh, wait, how to say this? Or, sorry, my English is bad. Even though her English wasn't bad at all, it was just different. Like that wall she described, she actually said, I understand English. I really do. But when I try to speak, my mouth just doesn't work. So what is that? What's happening when your mouth feels like it won't cooperate?
Yeah, that's the core question, isn't it? And the source really tackles this. It argues it's not really about knowledge, not in the way we usually think. It's the difference between understanding and, well, producing. Listening is, kind of passive. It's private. You can pause, rewind, think it over in your head, no pressure. But speaking, that's active. You have to choose words right now, make your mouth form the sounds, use your voice, and often there's this feeling of being watched, maybe even judged. So the insight here is really powerful. It's often less about knowing the English and more about confidence, or maybe the lack of it in that specific moment. And crucially, the source points out confidence isn't something you just get first. It comes after you start trying, after you make some mistakes, after you practice. That frozen feeling, it's partly your brain trying to protect you from sounding wrong, from failing. It's a natural defense mechanism.
That's such a kind way to look at it, actually. It means you're not broken. You're not bad at English or lazy. You're just human. It's like watching a baby learn to walk, right? They wobble, they fall down constantly. But nobody says, oh, just stop trying. You're clearly bad at walking.
Mm-hmm.
We encourage them. Come on, one more step.
Hmm.
And that's maybe the mindset shift. You don't need perfect English. What you need is brave English, English that just tries, even if it feels a bit shaky. Okay, so if that's the why, what about the how? If you're feeling like Lucia, stuck behind that wall, what can you actually do? The deep dive offers some really nice, gentle tips. The first one they talk about is shadowing. Can you maybe break down what that actually means for someone listening?
Sure. Shadowing is pretty straightforward, really. It's basically listening to someone speak English, maybe from a podcast, an audiobook, anything, and you repeat what they say almost immediately after them. Like you're their echo or their shadow, following their words.
Right. And the beauty of it, according to the source, is you don't have to think about what to say. You're not creating sentences, you're just mimicking. This helps build like muscle memory for your mouth, your tongue, your breathing, getting used to the shapes and sounds of English without the pressure of invention. And here's a lovely little secret from the source. You don't even need to do it loudly. Whispering works. Even just silently mouthing the words helps because your brain and your mouth are still making those connections.
Exactly. It cleverly sidesteps that fear of creation and judgment because you're just focusing on the physical act, the rhythm, the intonation. It's permission to be slow, to repeat, to sound a bit uncertain, but to keep going anyway. And it doesn't need to be hours. The suggestion is just say 5 minutes a day, repeat the same short clip a few times. Like learning song lyrics as a kid, repetition builds fluency, not necessarily speed.
That makes a lot of sense. So shadowing tackles the mechanics. What about just getting comfortable hearing your own voice speak English, even when no one's around? Like a kind of practice swing. Which brings us to the next tip, talking to yourself. Yeah, it might sound a bit odd, but the source really recommends it. Just narrating your day in English out loud, but just for you.
Yeah.
Simple things while you're doing chores or whatever. Okay, I'm chopping these onions now, or right, need to tidy this up, or even just, I'm pretty tired, but I'll push through. Oh, it sounds almost too simple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the idea is it makes English feel less like this big, scary other thing and more like just part of your day, a familiar tool. The more you hear yourself use it, the less strange it feels.
It's a fantastic way to sort of de-dramatize English, as you said, taking it out of the exam room or the important meeting context and just making it normal, your own voice, talking about your own life. It helps internalize the language, makes it feel less like a performance.
Okay, so we have shadowing for mechanics, talking to yourself for familiarity. But let's talk about that deeper thing, confidence. Because, like the source says, you can know all the grammar, all the words, but if your heart feels scared, the words might just not come out. And I love the source's take on this. Confidence isn't something you wait for, you actually build it, like brick by brick, little moment by little moment. And the secret, maybe a bit radical, but it's start speaking before you feel ready. Forget perfection. Aim for progress. Just trying is the win. The source suggests using what it calls brave words. Phrases like, I don't quite know the word, but I'll try to explain. Or even just acknowledging, my English isn't perfect, but I really want to communicate this.
Hmm.
Saying things like that, even quietly to yourself first, kind of takes back your power. It tells your brain, hey, it's okay. We're safe here. We can try. And gradually that helps calm the fear response. It also recommends finding safe spaces to practice. Maybe you're a really supportive friend, a small friendly online group, or even just recording yourself speaking on your phone. Not to criticize, but just to get used to hearing your voice. Maybe even cheer yourself on a little.
That idea of showing up anyway is so important, isn't it? It doesn't mean you suddenly become fearless. It just means you're willing to try, even with the nerves. And that consistent, gentle effort, even when it's imperfect, that's how real, lasting confidence gets built. It's the action itself that starts to rewire things.
Definitely. And that leads us to the final piece the source highlights, something that often gets overlooked when we're focused on rules and vocabulary emotion. Because language isn't just information transfer, right? It's feeling. Think about your first language, how your voice changes with joy or frustration, how your body language joins in. That's what makes communication rich and alive. But as the source points out, when we learn a new language, especially as adults, we often go a bit flat. We're so focused on being correct that we forget to actually put our feelings into the words. So the soft challenge here is to consciously bring emotion back. Instead of a flat, I went to work, maybe try, ugh, I was so tired this morning, but I still showed up. Or, my manager smiled at me today. And honestly, it made me feel really seen. Feel the meaning behind the words. Let your voice have some ups and downs. Let your face show something, even if the sentence itself is simple.
And there's a real benefit to that neurologically, too. When you connect an emotion to what you're saying, your brain actually remembers the language better. It creates a stronger pathway. Plus, your listener connects more. They're not just hearing words, they're hearing you. It's about authenticity, not perfection. Even one small sentence spoken with genuine feeling can be incredibly powerful. It accesses a different part of how we communicate.
So just to recap these ideas, we've got shadowing, that gentle echo practice, talking to yourself, making English familiar, building confidence slowly, brick by speaking before you're ready, and bringing emotion back into your words. None of these need huge chunks of time, right? Just consistency, just showing up for it. Even one sentence spoken with a bit of care, a bit of bravery is a real step.
It really prompts the question for you, the listener, doesn't it? How can you create your own little calm corner for English, a safe space, mentally or physically, where you can practice without pressure, connect with your own voice at your own pace?
Exactly. I love how the source puts it. Don't rush. Don't compare. Just keep returning to your voice, to your pace, to your quiet strength. Your voice is there. It's ready when you are. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. What's just one small, brave English sentence you could say out loud today? Even if it's just a whisper to yourself, just one sentence to start building that muscle, that connection, that voice.